Hey, Wildcats, I'm Edward E. McFarland, your Wildcat sports reporter, and I know this scenery is different from after a game, but I'm proud to say that this is my first one-on-one sit-down show, and I have a big first-time guest, that being Miss Danisha Shaw. She didn't play this year, but that's because her eligibility was up. But we have been blessed with her for her to be able to sit down and talk with us about her career plans, the things she has accomplished through this years. And without further ado, Miss Danisha Shaw.
How you doing? I'm Danisha Shaw. All glory to God. You know, it's a blessing to, start my career off right after I finish college, May 2nd. I'm going overseas May 12th and play on a tour team for 5 days, and hopefully with a lot of hope, faith, and prayer, I'll sign the contract on the spot. So.
All right, talking about May 2nd coming up, that being graduation, and then going overseas on May 12th, just to I guess kind of back up all the way completely, bringing us, taking us back to your hometown, that being Kenner, Louisiana, and just talk about, starting off there as you were able to just grow up and learn through the game of basketball and just going through our life back in Kenner, Louisiana.
Well, it started in the streets, so, I started playing in the streets when I was younger, before I just started playing recreation ball, so, I started there and I just got better, and I just grew with the game, and I fell in love with it from day one. This is like the dream to go overseas and even play pro. That's been my dream since I was small, so it's just a blessing, to just even be here and to talk about this right now. So
that's great. Talking about it being a blessing and being able to do what you love. Can you just talk about what your hometown, how your hometown has helped you up until this point with you being the type of player you have? And I remember last week when we was talking, off the camera, you were telling me about, the battle about, playing against all guys. So can you just talk about that?
I mean, when I was younger, I played against all guys, just no girls around. They roughed me up, to be honest. The guys roughed me up, that's why I always feel like I had a step ahead. I was a step ahead of everybody, because playing against boys and playing against girls is two different things. But it's just just being young and being the first one to get picked on the team, a boys team. That's that's good.
Right.
They respect me. They respect me as a basketball player. So.
Leading into respect, and you just talk about, as you build that confidence for the, to be the, first person picked, amongst all boys, can you talk about that confidence translating as you move forward to high school, Bonneville, Magna Academy, is that correct? Mm-hmm. Right. Can you just talk about that confidence from the streets being able to transfer to organized basketball as you move towards high school back in the day?
No fears. I just do me. It's just I just do my thing. When I get out there, I'm comfortable. I have fun with the game. I play with attitude, confidence. It's just I'm untouchable out there. For real.
So for you, I know a lot of players, who grew up in the streets playing basketball, sometimes it's hard for them to make that transition from calling your own calls and stuff like that. Being able to go towards organized basketball, you have to listen to a coach, and you have to, stop on the referee's whistle. Can you just talk, was there ever a struggle or adjustment, something that hindered you that you had to adjust to, as the game progressed for you?
Always, because playing organized ball and playing in the street, that's two different things. You gotta adjust, and it took me a while. It took me a while. I'm gonna say up to my senior year.
Right.
It took me a while to adjust to the referees and just be able to play in an organization it's hard though. And I always had this little attitude, a chip on my shoulder against the referee. So it's I had to adjust though. At some point in your life, you gotta stop and be I can't do that anymore. I gotta give them a chance, because they're human too. The referees human, and the pace of the game, they're gonna miss calls. So it's just you gotta adjust to it. You gotta be able to play through it.
Right. I would assume that you had a very good high school career. I remember you telling me that you started a varsity the whole time you were there, and you only year you didn't play was your 10th grade, your sophomore year. And coming out, you were an ESPN recruit, you were all district, you were all metro area, for your city and county. Can you just talk about like that being an accomplishment within itself as you got ready to look towards, college basketball?
I mean, coming out of high school, I wish I would have made better decisions, because I would have went top D1, but I made bad choices when I was, in high school, so I just had to make a way. And there was opportunities that God set out for me to just help me play basketball. That's all I wanted to do. So if I had to go to school to play basketball, then that's, that's what I had to do. But it's just, you gotta transition, you gotta grow, like, it's just growth. It's a whole lot of growth.
Okay, so I'm trying to paint the scenery for you. So, you're coming from high school, you're a big time recruit, ball is life, you're balling out of control. And then, like you say, you talk about, had circumstances been different, you could have went to that D1 school, but instead you found yourself, at Juco. Was that a mental shock for you? Was that something like you kind of frowned upon originally because you're like, I don't want to be in D1, I don't really want to. So, some players may not necessarily want to take the Juco route, but can you just explain like how, the type of mindset that it was for you at the time?
Well, at the time, it was just like, there was a lot of regret at the time, because, that's I wanted to go D1. That was, everybody gonna go D1.
Right.
So it's just like, I had to really set my mind into it. Just, I wanted to hoop. So whoever gave me a chance to hoop, I was with it. Whoever gave me a chance to hoop. Coming out of high school, I was top prospect or whatever, but at the time, during my senior year, I lost out on a lot of stuff because of this decision I made my 10th grade year in high school. So
Right.
I lost out on it. So then I had to reevaluate everything. I had to bounce back.
Right.
So I just bounced back and I came back strong. Right to college, like
Was there ever a family issue? Because I know you said that the 10th grade year, it was because, you were just helping out a family member, they got into it with some people at school and you were just there trying to help. Was there ever like a family issue after that, when you had to just reevaluate how you, move, throughout life and throughout school, being able to focus on basketball?
Well, coming out of that situation was tough because I had to go to a school where there was no basketball played at all. So, and I had to pay to get through school. And it was just like, it put my mom in a bind because she's a single parent or whatever, so she had to pay $500 a month for me to go to school. So it was just like a big eye opener, I would say. Like, I gotta grow up. I can't just be out here doing that because I'm putting other people in a bind. Like, I know your mom will always be that.
Right. But you don't want to take it, right.
Right, but in the same breath, it's like, I could have made a better decision than that. But at the time, it's like, when stuff going on in the moment, you don't think about that.
Exactly.
But after, I was like, man, I should have, But like, no regrets, I just moved on and I bounced back.
Right. So when you talk about having to move and your mother having to pay for your schooling, was that your 10th grade year only?
Yes.
Like back in high school? Okay. So can moving forward, with being that top recruit, but having to settle, for Juco, can you just talk about your experience at Paris Junior College?
Well, my first year, I tore my ACL.
Right, I remember you telling me about that.
Man, it was tough. It was real tough on me. Like, I was 8 hours from home, no family. I just had to go through that on my own. And God, of course, brought me through it. But my first year at Paris, it was more of a strength. I had to gain strength from somewhere. I had to gain, because I was hurt. I couldn't do nothing.
Was that both mentally and physically?
Mentally and physically.
Okay.
Because I have never had an injury before that. So it was like, I feel like everything happened for a reason though. So it's just, you know, I had to gain strength. I had to find somewhere deep inside. I still want to do this. Because after most people tell their ACL, it's a fear. It's a fear that comes from behind it. So I just hop right out and I just, you know,
Kobe-like
walk on
syndrome.
faith. Walk on faith. You gotta walk on faith. And on my second year in Juco, my coach was more of a discipline type of guy. And like I said, I had an attitude.
Right,
So
okay.
he more disciplined me than anything, and I'm appreciative for that because I feel like things I could have done at somewhere else, he stopped it. Like attitude-wise, he stopped a lot of stuff that I would thought I would do somewhere else that they wouldn't take it from me. Like so he stopped. Like he really disciplined me. Like, and I appreciate that because when I came here, I was more of a listener than a speaker. So.
Going back to your injury, I know you said you just had to, you know, find that strength both physically and mentally. So after you had that torn ACL injury, was there like an extensive type of rehab you went through, or was it just an instinct of, you know, having that attitude and that personality and that grit to want to continue that, you know, made you tap into? Because I remember you saying that you were like walking, you know, not too long after you had the surgery. You have a friend, you know, a teammate, you know, it take her 5 weeks to, you know, get back, you know, on her leg. So, like, how was that recovering process for you at the time?
I didn't start therapy like right away. I was on bed rest for a couple of weeks. But when I started therapy, I think I hit it hard. I don't think the therapy was as hard as it needed to be for me to come back. I sat out a whole year, and my leg still isn't, like I don't have full bend in my leg, so just knowing that, I just had to find a way. I had to find my own way. Like with the therapy, I mean, it wasn't that harsh or whatever, but it was hard. It was tough, like to get the strength back in my knee and get everything going, working right. But I mean, I just got through it, you know. I'm a strong individual. I think, you know, life made me this way. Well, I had to mature and take things on for myself. So, like I said, you just walk out on faith and, you know, you can do a lot of things.
Absolutely, I agree with you. So, of course, we're all glad that you were able to recover from that torn ACL, because had that not been the case, you wouldn't be here at Dear Old Wiley.
Right.
We wouldn't be able to see the greatness you still had left in you and that you still have, you know, show us. So, leaving Paris Junior College, I remember you telling me also that at the time, you know, you were talking to Coach Pruitt, you know, she wanted you to come visit, you know, and shortly before your visit, you know, your sister passed. So can you just take us through, also that being, I'm pretty sure, a pivotal moment in your life, as you say, that was an older sister and you both shared the same dream of, you know, playing basketball on, you know, a big stage in front of the big lights. And, you know, just being able to come here and Wiley, you know, being able to deal with that and be able to, you know, make Wiley your ultimate choice to be here today.
Well, coming out of that Juco, I had an offer from Southern University, but they wanted me to sit out again, so I was like, no, I can't do that again. I just sat out a whole year, I can't do that again. So, you know, Coach Pruitt, she hit me up and she was like, you know, I want you to come play, you know. Came on a visit. At the time, I took a loss. I feel like that changed my life around, like, because I started taking life more serious at that moment, like, because you never know what somebody going through. You never know the pain. You never know. You just never know. So, for my sister to, you know, just go like that, it's like, damn, like, it can happen to anybody.
Exactly.
So, I just stayed focused, and when I came here, Coach P let me do me. She just let me play. She let me play my game, and it just flowed. Like, I mean, but you take a lot of losses in life, but as long as you bounce back, you'll be alright. You know,
I'm with it.
you'll be alright.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
So, here before me, normally, you know, before the games, I can look at the stats and be like, okay, cool, I can quickly remember that. But, like, your catalog for Wildcat College in 2 years alone is, like, mind-blowing and astounding. And I'll just read it off for our viewers out there. So, coming in from Paris Junior College, you know, your junior year, you average 14 points. You shoot nearly 45% from the field. You shooting 30, close to 40% from the three-point line. You know, your point high was 34 for your junior year, 10 rebounds as well, a high of 5 steals, 4 assists, and 3 blocks. So I see you playing you playing the D out there. So, and then even on top of that, and we're still just in your junior year, you got newcomer of the year, first team all conference, and the Lady Wildcats. They won the conference title for, you know, the Red River Athletic Conference, and you had multiple players of the week. So, like, what was that junior year for you specifically? Like, were there any goals set out? Was there, like, this is a new Danisha, I'm coming out, yeah, these things happened to me in the past, I'm going to brush them off. Like you keep saying, taking that step of faith with God and just, letting it all hang out there on the court. Like, and your numbers show there for your junior year. So just talk about that experience.
I'm just gonna say it was everything I prayed for. I prayed not only for my junior year, but my senior year, that I had the best years of my life. Because I know you're coming out your junior year, senior year, your stats gotta be right.
You gotta have some type of
You gotta
have
the stats right.
Yeah.
So I just was praying, that it'd be one of the greatest years. And my junior year, I started as a newcomer on the team, and it was a different type of basketball than I played at Juco. So it was more slower at Juco than it was here at Wiley. So. But I always played a fast-paced game, so when I came to Coach Pruitt and she let me do it gelled together. So, I mean, like I said, we had a great team that year. They made me better, I made them better. We worked together, and we didn't achieve our ultimate goal to win a national championship, but we made it. We made it there, we fell short, but I'm a team player, so whatever it is I can do to help my team out, I'm going to do it. I'm going to die on the floor, I'm going to get steals, I'm going to score, I'm going to do it all. If I can, I'm willing to do it. I'm going to put my head, I'm a chicken with a head cut off when it comes to that.
I feel you. So now, moving into senior year, like, I know, like, every game at that point is like never taken for granted. It's so precious. It's like, hey God, if I can get 50 every night, let me get it. And so going back to your stats, now this is for your senior year. You averaged 20 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals. You were close to a 50-point game within having a point high of 46. You had a career high of rebounds for 11 rebounds, and you had season high for 9 steals, 11 assists, and 3 blocks. And as you said, the chicken with his head cut off. So, again, your stats show that you everywhere. And even within your senior year, I'm looking at it now, you were very efficient as you were 50% from the field, 40% from 3. So it's like, and I had the pleasure of watching. I was like, good Lord, this girl gets buckets out here. Like, give her the ball, move out the way. And then even as your senior year finished, you finished in the top 5 rankings for total steals as well as total points, and then the top 10, for like points average and as well as like steals per game. So just like take us through like that final dance. And then I almost forgot this long list of goals. Okay, so I'm gonna read it off for the viewers. Senior year, you get your jersey displayed into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. So let me ask you about that, because I wasn't sure. Is this like the head honcho, or is this like on the collegiate level of like the Women's Hall of Fame?
It's on the collegiate level.
Okay. But in due time, it's gonna be on the head honcho. We're gonna speak that into
Yeah,
existence.
it is.
Putting God first, He gonna make it
Yes,
happen for you.
Yes.
You got All-American, Female Athlete of the Year, Co-Defensive Player of the Year, Player of the Week multiple times. I kept saying it on the internet. First team All-Tournament, back-to-back Red River Athletic Conference champions again. And then what stood out to me, because I don't think you really see it a lot of times, like within like females playing basketball, is you enter the 1,000 point club. So if you can retain all that I just said, to you, what was the most special about that year?
I'm gonna say the 1,000 point. I mean, the Hall of Fame. That's just I didn't even know nothing about it. So when it came to me, it was just like exciting. But I'm a type of person, I'm not a settler, so I can't settle for that.
Keep setting the bar for yourself.
I want it all. I'm setting goals higher than that. And to be in the Women's Hall of Fame, it's just like that they picked me to do that. First of all, I want to say my senior year was one of the best years of my life. Like, that was one of the best years ever, like playing basketball. So just co-defensive player and being an All-American, it's just a blessing. Like I feel like I was chosen to do this. Like, and like you said, my stats and it showed. But like I'm not a. It's just humbling. Like I really humble myself when I achieve stuff like that, because not everybody get to do it for one. And when you go on Google and you just search my name, Danisha Shaw, all that stuff pop up. People in the hood love that.
Right.
They love that. Like just to see where I come from, and it's just a blessing. Like they always told me, you gonna make it. Yeah, you gonna make it. But now it's visual now. Like you can see, what I'm doing, and it's just a blessing. Like I'm gonna say my 1,000 point was the greatest point in my career, because I was hurt. I was on an ankle injury at the time. My team was down. We was playing Langston. Coach put me in like the second half. I came in, I scored I think it was 14 to hit the 1,000 point. My mom was there. It was a blessed moment. Man. It's like, if I could have cried, I would have cried. If I couldn't, I had to hold it down. But like, my mom, coming up, like I came up, she was a single parent, so she worked 2 and 3 jobs. So, she didn't really get to see me play basketball like that. So her to come here and see me on my senior game, to hit my 1,000 point, it was great. And not even knowing I was gonna play that night.
Right.
That's just how y'all got with it.
Exactly.
That's just how y'all got with it. So, like I think that was like the highlight point, like 1,000 point in 2 years. That's just
astounding.
So I hit it in 2 years. So it's just a blessing, man, that I get to do the things that I'm doing with this game. Like, I love it. I ain't gonna stop. For real.
Switching gears. I can tell that you have a strong passion for the game, as well as you have a strong passion for where you came from. So, I mean, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I get the sense that like it's more than just basketball for you.
Yeah.
I feel like, you love the game and you play it for yourself because that's your outlet. But I hear you mentioning, the people back home, and for you to be a young black woman being productive in this world, through the game of basketball, one, and then 2, getting ready to graduate. Can you just talk about, for one, you being a role model to, family and friends and just younger kids back home, and like, the type of mindset you have as a mentor, understanding that you have a responsibility?
That's what I do it for. It's not about the money, it's not about the fame to me, it's about my people. First and foremost, the youth. Man, it's just crazy how you growing up, and especially in the hood, it's just like, their mind corrupted. The poverty is blind. It's blinding them. Like, and for me to just go and tell them, like, stay in school, it's positive things out there that you can do to get out there. Like, you don't have to stay in the hood. The goal was always to get out the hood.
Right.
That's the goal always. And for them to see me, you know, out there, you know, and it's be like, what you doing? You playing pro ball? Like, they don't even know what pro ball is, most of them, but they just know, you know, yeah, you know Tamika Johnson, you know, yeah, you played against her? No, not yet, but you know, it's just like, you know, I'm keeping a positive mind and just helping, just giving, you know, giving, even if it's a word of mouth, just saying, you know, stay in school, you know, keep going, stay out the streets. Streets ain't got nothing to offer you. Just to tell one of the youngest that's a blessing to me. It's a blessing to become a blessing. I always heard that.
Amen.
And that's all I want to be, like, not only in the game, but in the world. Like, I want to make a change. I want to be the change that I want to see in the world. Like, I feel like I should be able to tell my generation what people didn't tell me growing up. So when they get in the same situation or the same struggle, then I'll be able to tell them, you know, you can get through that. Just never give up and just keep God first, you know. And that's when I'm talking to any young person, that's what I tell them. Keep God first. No matter what you do, like, I do it for the people. You know, like, cause they love to see me do this. So I just pray like that I can be able to give so much back, like starting foundations for the youth, just like, you know, stuff in my community that help my community, because not only mine, but the youth everywhere is just sinking. Like,
right.
we just our generation just bad off, and I feel like it gotta be a change, like somewhere. It gotta be a change somewhere. I'll never do this for me. I do this for my people and my mom, for one, just to make a living, buy a new house. You know, it's just the blessed things, you know, that you want to do with this game.
Right.
That God allowed me to do with this game, with my talent. I'm a hustle and I'm a grind, like, and I do it for the people. It ain't never about me. But I play this game for me, yeah. But, you know, it's my outlet. You know, what I do when I'm feeling like I can't take no more. I can't, you know. That's why I lay it all out. I lay everything out on the court.
Do you feel do you feel like specifically like basketball was like, it was that thing for you that like kept you, you know, from like being a part of those who like may have sunk, you know, along the way inside the youth? Do you think it was just basketball solely, or was there anything else, you know, in conjunction with basketball?
Definitely just basketball, because like I said, my way out, it's the only route I had. You know, I feel like I wouldn't have been in school if I couldn't play basketball. So I just had to make decisions, like mature decisions, I'm gonna say. When I was younger, to just, you know, stick with it and stay focused. I never forgot my goal and what my goal was, and my dream to play pro. So it's just, you know, you gotta stay focused. You can't lose focus. Like, at no point in time, you gotta just keep your focus.
Well, right on. I love it. I agree with you 100%. Talking about playing for the pros, I know you say for you, women's basketball, whether it be collegiate or WNBA, except for when you're actually on the court, because you have that motive that is slow to you. You told you more so, you know, look towards the NBA, and LeBron is your favorite player. So, like, do you think, like, out there on the court, like, you try to mimic your game behind LeBron? Like, I know you're not cocking it back and slamming it, but do you feel like, you know, you try to take, you know, the LeBron approach, or to take things from his game and you just put in your own repertoire?
LeBron a monster out there. You know, everybody say that he a monster. So I try to take the same aggression. You know, just watch his game and take the same aggression, the same attitude. Like when he score, he's just like, you go like yeah. You know, like that aggression. That take you a long way. Just having that type of. Just to watch LeBron and from when he was younger to now, it's just like you could tell that he grew into the game more and more and more. So I mean, like I ain't gonna say I mimic, you know, but I watch. I'm really a student of the game, and I watch.
Right.
If I could try to put that in my game, then, you know, if I'm watching LeBron, girls ain't doing this.
You're right.
You know, so I'm like, yeah, if I could, you know, add that into my know, just, but I'm a student of the game. I like watching basketball, like, so that's just, the aggression though. LeBron's aggression is pure.
Okay.
Love is pure.
So will there be any resentment from you, like if he doesn't win the MVP this year? Do you feel like I'm assuming that he's your favorite player, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so is there so like, will there be any resentment? And if you turn it on, it's like, oh, Steph got the MVP or James Harden. Do you feel like he need to get it every year, or like you okay?
He's still a man.
Okay.
He's still a man. You know, he earned MVPs. He earned championships.
Mm-hmm.
Like he set himself up to be in a position. So I don't feel like anybody should win it every year.
Right.
I feel like it should be some new people that be able to win it. Wow, it's boring to have the same person winning every year. You know, and the new school, the new generation, Stephen Curry and James Harden, they work hard.
Right.
Hard work pays off. If you're working hard for anything, yeah, you deserve it. Of course you deserve it. I don't think LeBron should get it every year. But I mean, if he worked hard just in that year, yeah, he should get it. But I feel like all of his awards, he deserved it, you know? So, not just that one. So,
okay, I know you told me throughout high school, I believe, up until you got to Wiley, you had 23, and that was like, your jersey number was 23, and that was like partially because of, LeBron, but when you got to Wiley, it changed to number 1, and I know you say at first it didn't have that significance, it was just your jersey number, but as time progressed and you got to achieve the things that you accomplished, like, you looked at that number 1 being on your front of your back is like, you being the chosen one, like, God putting you in this position to just, minister to those people in Kenner, Louisiana, as well as around the world. So can you just talk about, you feeling like, not in an arrogant way, because I don't get there from you, but just taking on the responsibility of being, the one, quote unquote, to be able to just be out there ministering to the youth.
Well, like you said, at first the jersey change, it ain't really mean nothing to me. But I always try to put stuff into a positive perspective, and get the best out of that. So when you asked me that question, it was like, okay, what does my number mean? Like, and like you said, I feel like I'm chosen. Well, one could mean a lot of things. One God, one love, one life to live. One is a big number to me. And I'm gonna say it's important because I feel like anybody that pick a jersey number, their jersey number gonna be important to them. But mine is just like chosen. I'm chosen one for this. Like for everything that happened, not exactly like I planned, but in God's plan, it's just like, yeah, I'm the one. Like, like the number, I feel like it's corresponding to me now. Like, for real.
Okay, one last thing before we get out of here. I'll say this quote to you, and you just tell me what it means to you. I know you say you have it tatted on you, I believe. So I remember we talking, different things that you go throughout your life. No matter what it is, I remember you telling me that you never feel like you lost. You just always feel like you learned the lesson. And and that first starts, with God, just sending you through life. So can you just talk about like what does that specific statement mean to you?
Well, I got it. Like I said, I got it tatted on me. Never failed you, always a lesson. I feel like in life, first and foremost, I want to say you can't fail with God.
Amen.
He always trying to teach you something. Now, whether you learn from that and grow upon it is up to you. Because life is all about your choices and your priorities and decisions you make. So, I feel like in life, even if I felt like at the time I was failing, I was learning. Like, it was something that I can learn from every situation that I've been through in my life. It's something that I can grow upon and I can somebody that's in that same situation, I can tell them, like, you know, it's alright, like, you know, you just never give up, like, just keep going, like, there's so many times I feel like giving up, and I just like I said, I just walk on faith, and, you know, not by sight. When I was younger, that's what I did. I walked on a lot. I just went by things I seen, and now it's just like, I feel like faith is the most important thing you have to have in this life to get through it. Like, and like I said, it's never a failure with God. He always trying to teach you something. It's always a lesson to learn from it. Now, whether you learn a lesson or not, that's on you. But it's a lesson to be taught. Like, it's life will hit you hard, and you just gotta stay positive. Really, once you stay positive, and you just know it. If you know that no matter what, God got you, and that's what I look at. God got me. So even if you even feel like you failed that day, no, you got another chance. You breathing again, you got another chance. Like, you know, you got another chance to live in that moment again. And it's just like, I feel like I never fail. I never fail. Like, it was always, I win or I learn.
Amen.
And that's what I stick with. Like, is it you win or you learn? There's no lose. You can't lose with God.
I love the mentality. I love the mentality. Well, I appreciate your time. I want to most definitely congratulate you on getting ready to graduate May 2nd.
I appreciate it.
More power to you. And I also want to say wish you the best. I know you're going to kill. I know you're going to do great. And I believe that we serve the same God. I have a tremendous faith too. And I know He's going to see you through and allow you to accomplish great things overseas playing basketball. So thank you. It's been an honor. It's been a privilege. I greatly appreciate your time. Thank you for this opportunity.
Stay tuned. My life is a story. It's a walking testimony.
We just getting started. We just getting started.
Only the beginning.
Absolutely.
Only. Just stay tuned. Danisha Shaw, you know.
And there you have it, Wildcats. I'm Edward E. McFarland, your Wildcat sports reporter, closing up on the first episode of my one-on-one interview with Danisha Shaw, and there'll be many more to come with other legendary people like her coming right behind her. Stay tuned. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.